Okay, now in this video we will see what to do with that first number if the number in front of your squared variable is not 1. So look at this example here. I'm just going to tell you how it factors, and the check is at the end, and I want you to see if you can kind of see what's going on. So if you had 8x squared plus 22x plus 15, first of all, don't worry how I got the numbers exactly, but I'm just going to tell you what factors is 2x plus 3 times 4x plus 5. To check that, let's do the FOIL. If I take 2x times 4x, I get 8x squared. If I take 3 times 5, I get the 15 on the end. And then to get the middle term, I look at the outside and the inside. 2x times 5 gives me 10x, and 3 times 4x gives me 12x, which is 22x. So what do you notice about the 2x and the 4x? Where did I get 2 and 4? Why did those make sense? Well, the 2x and the 4x, when I multiply them, they gave me the 8x squared. So the 2 and the 4, those are factors of 8. Now, the 3 and the 5, we should be used to that. Those are factors of 15. So the thing I want you to notice here is that the first guys in the parentheses give you your first term. The last guys in the parentheses give you your last term. So now let's see how we actually come up with all that. If I have ax squared plus bx plus c, the first guys are going to be my factors of a, and the last guys will be my factors of c. That way, the first and the last terms are guaranteed to match because I'm choosing factors of a and c. So could I just choose any old factors of a and c? No, because I still have to get the middle term to match, just like I did before. So the process is actually almost exactly the same, but I just need to check a few more things than I did before. So let's say we have 2y squared minus 3y minus 2. The first thing I'll do is look at my signs. 2 is negative, so that means I automatically have one of each. Now instead of just having a y and a y like I did before, and that would have been the case if I just had a plain old y squared, I now have a y and a 2y, because when I multiply those first terms I have to get 2y squared. The only way 2 factors is 1 times 2, so I know it has to be 1y times 2y. Then, the guys that go in the last spots in the parentheses would also be factors of 2 because of the 2 on the end. So it's either 1 times 2, or 1 in the first place and 2 in the second, or 2 in the first place and 1 in the second. Now notice before, in the first half of the lecture, I only listed the factors of c once. As soon as I have extra numbers in front of the variables, I have to list every factor pair twice, because putting a 1 in with the 2y is very different from putting a 1 in with the y. So let's see which one of these will work. If I put 1 in the first one and 2 in the second, my outside is negative 2y, my inside is positive 2y, which would just cancel, and I'm going for negative 3y. That's not a negative 3y. Let's try the same pair but in a different order. My outside is negative y. My inside is 4y. That would give me 3y. Is that what I want? No, I want negative 3y, so that's almost what I want. I just changed the signs. So I'd have y minus 2 and 2y plus 1. Okay, pause the video and do this next one on your own. All right, so first of all, your guessing framework. Since 3 is negative, I know I have one of each sign, a plus and a minus. Now I'm not just going to have an x plus and an x minus because that wouldn't give me 5x squared. The only way to get 5, the only way 5 factors is 1 and 5. So I'll have 1x and 5x, and then a plus and a minus. Don't worry about who gets the plus and who gets the minus. If our signs are off, just like we did on the left-hand side example, we'll just switch them at the end. Okay, what would my choices be for the last parts of the parentheses? Okay, the only way 3 factors is 1 times 3. Since I now have coefficients on those variables, I have to list that factor pair both ways. If I put in 1 and 3, my outside is negative 3x, my inside is 5x. That will not give me negative 14x, so I cross it out. Try it the other way. And my outside would be negative x, my inside would be 15x. That gives me positive 14x, which is really close. I just need to change the sign. So when I change the signs, that would give me a negative 14x inside. Okay, some things worth noting. I have to list every factor pair twice. Whenever I have coefficients on the variables inside those parentheses, every factor pair is listed twice. Again, I might need to switch my signs. We've seen that before. That's not a surprise. And lastly, these problems were actually really easy because these numbers didn't have very many factors. Notice I just had a 3, so I just listed 1 and 3 and 3 and 1. If I had something very factorable like 36, the process is the same. It's not any harder, it's just a lot longer.